All right, Martin.
Hi, Cots. Start with Jacob Lopez. It's been, I think, 40-plus games since the starter, went 7 innings. Just what do you think of his ability to pitch that deep into a game and pitch so effectively tonight?
Oh, I think Jacob was excellent tonight. You know, this is an outing that we talk about, you know, Jacob taking the next step. Since he's been back, he's been really effective, really good. Tonight was probably the best we've seen him pitching into the 7th inning. You know, defense kind of let him down a little bit in that inning, but he was able to manage it and walk off that mound with a 3-2 lead, which was outstanding.
Obviously a rough 8th inning there. Just kind of what you see going on there with Johnson and then Suarez after that? Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of the tale of our year is, you know, our inability to hold a lead. And again, I think that 8th and 9th inning, you know, we saw it in Boston. You know, there was never a shutdown inning. You know, these guys are young, and it's challenging. We can go through the list. Alvarado's got less than a year in the big leagues in a role that he's never pitched in. You go down, I mean, Basso, 31 games, Johnson's 29 games, Medina's 40 games, Blewett's 40 games. They're just they're not experienced. And, you know, I think they're going through these growing pains. It's tough to cough up leads because it impacts the offense. It impacts the morale of the club. It's not for lack of effort. You know, they threw strikes. Johnson faced the top of the order, and those 3 hitters are professional hitters. And, you know, I think for Suarez coming in, the confidence we've had in him, he's had success in shutting innings down. You know, it just wasn't our night to get through that inning there.
Yes, Gelof had only 5 games of rehab with the Aviators, and he came back strong. Could you please talk about you know, his performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought Zack looked great. The confidence that he plays with, that he showed up with today, looked great at third base. The at-bats were outstanding. You know, first and second there, a big situation, driving a ball off the wall, giving us add-on runs. You know, Zack really looked good tonight.
Yes, and I know the runs came in that 8th inning, but do you believe that 7th inning, when you guys didn't play very clean baseball, is kind of a momentum changer in the game? After all, you're leading by 2. When you start throwing the ball around there, you think that kind of thing is like a momentum changing?
I don't, because we came back in the bottom of the 7th and put on 3 runs. So I don't think the defense had any impact outside of us giving up an extra run that we could have eliminated. I thought the add-on runs in that 7th, the offense came back from a shaky defensive inning and showed that they were you know, able to give us even more cushion.
What can you say more about the fight that this team showed tonight, even with the loss? I mean, they were giving it their all, you know, really showed great fight in this game. And up until the 8th inning, the A's were clearly the better team up until the 8th, really. So what can you say about just the fight that this offense and this lineup showed tonight?
No, they continue to go out and play hard. There's no question. That's not going to change. I think, as you said, we played really good baseball. You know, the one thing that I feel like we didn't do was we didn't put free base runners on outside of making the error and a couple walks. That 8th inning, they hit the baseball. They hit the baseball around the field. And we, you know, in terms of executing pitches, you know, we're going to have to be better at that with the guys that were in that inning. You know, I thought Scott did a nice job coming in and shutting the inning down and pitching a clean 9th.
I have a question on that 7th inning there, maybe from a little bit of a different perspective from Lopez's spot. Obviously didn't give up any hard contact. It was just 2 frustrating plays there. What does it say about his growth, though, to not let that spiral, to really bear down and get out of that with just the 1 run?
Yeah, it says a lot. Jacob's an emotional kid. You know, at times he loses that emotion, which impacts, you know, his ability to kind of focus when things kind of spiral. But tonight he didn't let that happen, and I thought he took a big step forward tonight.